Hey guys, welcome to the Green Bridge. I'm really excited that you guys can join us. I really want to shout out all of you for the likes, the watch on my debt-free journey video. It has been incredible for me to share that with you guys. I was a little bit shy at first, but I'm so happy that I got to share it, and I have a lot of people who really are interested in going on their own debt-free journey or just trying to be better with money. And so I'm really excited to start creating a series of videos just to help inform, guide, let's have fun, talking about financial literacy and talking about, growing our personal finance and being better in handling our finance, just growing that knowledge. So let's get started. If you are interested in going on a debt-free journey, I have to say that there's no way to start without basically developing a certain mindset. And so I don't want to just tell you guys, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. I want you to mentally be prepared that because it is a journey. If you're going to go from here to, let's say, Florida, it's a journey. You have to think ahead, plan ahead, pack your bags, drive to the airport. There's so many things that goes in there, but the first thing that you have to do is decide that you want to go to Florida. And so when you're trying to go on your debt-free journey, the first thing that's important is having the mindset about you want to go on the debt-free journey. A big thing to keep in mind is your why, okay? What is your why? Take a few seconds. I'll wait for you to take a few seconds and think about your why. Okay, so you have to have a reason for wanting to be debt-free. When I started, I realized very early on that I love traveling. I love to see the world, and I want to continuously see the world. I realized I need to have money to do that because traveling is very expensive. There were so many other things that I knew that I wanted very early. I know I wanted to retire early. I also knew that I wanted to have a legacy for my kids. I don't want my kids to struggle like I did going to college and having to take out loans and struggling a little bit. And I also know that I basically I want to buy a house. I want to maybe start a nonprofit in the future. I want to own businesses. I don't know. I just wanted to give myself a lot of options when it comes to how I want to design my future. So that was one of my biggest motivation for wanting to be debt-free. I'm Nigerian, and one thing I knew I wanted was a nice wedding. And so it was very important for me to have a why. A lot of these things were my big whys. And I think for you have to decide why. Maybe you want to spend, Saturday and the weekends with your cats at night. Whatever your why is, figure that out why, because that would be one of the motivating factors as you're going on this journey. Remember that this journey is only for a season. It is only for a season. And I talked about how when I was in law school, I wanted to be a lawyer, and going to law school was just that season for me to become a lawyer. So even though it was really hard for me, I realized that it was just a season for me to get to where I need to be. So it's okay to not live the way you want to live for that season, because guess what? You have the rest of your life to live as you please. You have the rest of your life to do what you want. So once you decide what your big why or whys are, then you have to come to terms and basically take on 3 types of mindset in my point of view, right? That is the mindset that you can do it. That is the mindset of being committed, and also the mindset of being content. And I'm going to start with the mindset of you can do it. I'm not going to get all biblical with this whole video, but I do believe that we are created by a creator. And because we're created in the image of the creator, we are creators ourselves. We're God ourselves, so we can create our own life. We can create our dream life. I've always been big on creating my dream life. No one can tell me that I can't create my dream life. And that's something that I passionately believe. And I want you to believe that you can create your own reality. You can create your dream life. You can change your environment. You can create a new environment. And a lot of a mistake that people make is coming up with reasons why they can't. Coming up with excuses why they can't. I'm about to get real here. The first thing people love to do is blame the government. And one of my favorite lines that people say is they should have known better than to give an 18-year-old thousands of dollars. Or they be I'm gonna die with my loans. When I hear my friends say these, I literally die inside of me because I just cannot imagine dying with debt. Like, it's just something that I don't want to be a reality for me. So it really makes me feel a certain way when I hear people say this. But yeah, it's easy to fall into that form of groupthink about that being normal and that being okay. But you really can decide from this moment on that this is something that you don't want to do, and then work towards it. People also sometimes blame their background, like I didn't come from money, I didn't come from a good family, or my family didn't have wealth, and blame your background as to why you can't do it. These people are already rich, and people have, supportive parents that are helping them, and those things may be true. But whatever your background is, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, because someone may have, $100,000 in debt, and someone may only be $10,000 in debt, or someone may be $50,000 in debt. Your backgrounds may be very, very different, and don't let that be a reason why you don't want to basically get out of debt. Another thing that people talk about is their reality. The reality of things is people have kids, people are, dealing with sickness, people have issues that I can't even think of right now, but people are always dealing with things. They're not making enough money. The reality is, yes, these things are actual real factors that affect where we are at in life, but we cannot be victim of our situation. And I believe that part of it is, regardless of what is going on with you, nevertheless, you have to really believe that you can do it. And once you believe that, you will make sure that you are able to basically fulfill that. One of my favorite lines is, where there's a will, there is a way. And I just think that outside of what may be going on right now, just the moment of you taking 2 seconds to just tell yourself, I can be debt free, that part is really, really vital into you starting your journey and actually, getting far in your journey. The second thing that was very, very crucial in this journey, it's a mindset of being committed, and committing to wanting to be debt-free is very, very important. I know we know this phrase about, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That phrase has a sexy twin, a good twin, whatever you want to call it, and that is consistency. Consistency is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Part of it is showing up consistently every single time. And once you do that, the result of basically showing up every single time, the same time, again and again and again, is a beautiful journey that actually ends. And that's the goal. We want the journey to end. It's not a forever situation. It's literally just a journey. And so you have to decide how often you want to basically, be consistent. Do you want it to be bi-weekly or weekly, depending on how you're getting paid? How do you want to show up for yourself all the time? Another thing that people don't understand is people kind of will see that me right now and are going to think, oh, this was an easy thing. And it wasn't really easy. And that's something I want to add. You have to understand that close to 3 years is a long time. I didn't just get out of my bed and wake up and then just became debt free. There was a lot of time and effort put in there. But I want to highlight the fact that when I started when I didn't have much. A lot has changed for me in 3 years. Where I was 3 years ago is different from where I am right now. And so where I'm going to be in the next 3 years, I can't even imagine, but I know that future is going to be a different future. So what I do want you to do is just start small, wherever you are at right now. Whether it's $50 you can put towards your debt additionally, whether it's $100, whether it's $200, $1,000, $3,000, whatever you can put right now, start. That's all you need to do. I really do believe when we're faithful with small things, we get rewarded with even bigger things. When I started, I was putting a certain amount. Over the course of my journey, by the time I was blessed with a lot, I was able to double how much I was putting, just because I was already consistent and I knew that this is something that I wanted to do. Because I was faithful when I didn't have much, when my blessing grew, I was still faithful in my new environment. So that's something that I want to really encourage. The third mindset is the mindset of contentment. This one is very hard. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm a victim of that, but I think I've been better this past years that I've been on this journey. Come on, I know we're all struggling out here. It's really, really hard in the age of social media, in the age of I deserve, the same age of self-care, put me first, to really practice contentment. I definitely understand that. Like, you feel like you have to go on that trip, you have to go to that concert, you have to wear this outfit, you have to, participate in all these events. I just want to tell you that you don't. You really don't. And I'm not gonna just chastise you in this video about just committing to contentment. I'm gonna actually share with you how to become more content, because it is a very difficult thing. You do deserve these things. I'm not even disagreeing with you, but maybe not right now. I just wanna share with you some of the things, 4 things that really help me practice contentment. First, you have to appreciate where you are right now. That is so important. And then also appreciate where you're going. You gotta appreciate where you come from, where you are right now, and where you're going. And again, where you're going is the big why, what you're gonna be able to do after you're done with paying your debt, like that travel, that eating, all that stuff that you really are giving up right now. That's something you can look forward to. And then just appreciate where you're at right now, because honestly, think about where you've been and think about what you're living right now. Your life right now is a testimony to somebody else. You may not feel that's the case, but that's very true. And so appreciating where you're currently at is one way to practice contentment. You don't need anything less, you don't need anything more, just appreciate where you're at right now. Another thing is that remember that you don't know how other people are living. The truth is, there are people out here looking like what they're not on social media. And there are people out there who are those things that they're posting on social media. But the truth is, you don't know. And it's important that you don't compare yourself to someone or feel like you have to be in a race and keeping up with the Joneses with people on social media or your friends and family. And I'm not only talking to people on social media, because people don't really understand that they're still keeping up with the Joneses even when they're not on social media. Like, maybe you don't get that car, or maybe not live in that environment that you want to live in because you want to keep up with the Joneses. You may be pushing yourself to doing things that you typically cannot afford. And so I would definitely encourage even people who are not big on social media and you're like, I'm above the influence, to think about whether or not people around them are really influencing how they're moving, their money moves. And then the last thing is, don't do things to impress people. It's very important that we're not living to impress other people. And I really do think that was something that was very important for me. And I told y'all, I was riding around a Honda Civic, and it was very embarrassing sometimes, like my car would be making noise. Mind you, I'll carry people around. Yeah, I would offer to drive people, and I'll get told about how I need to get a new car, and like, why haven't I gotten a new car? And a lot of it is when you're going through your journey, you are making sacrifices, but it's okay to try not to impress people and not let people be your motivating factor for doing something. Let where you are financially and where you're going financially be the motivating factor. Impress yourself. Yeah, impress yourself. The final thing that I want to tell you, this is something I practice a lot, and I think it helps me kind of stay sane when practicing contentment, is to reward yourself. Like, actually reward yourself. Now, I'm not saying go like splurge and spend a ton of money, but I'm saying that celebrate your milestones. Maybe you could take a not so expensive, trip to Turks and Caicos, but maybe you want to go to somewhere like, to a resort that's the city nearby, and that doesn't cost way too much money. Or you want to do something like take yourself to dinner one night. A lot of times when you're on this journey, you might not be eating out as often, and maybe once in a while or like once a month you want to go treat yourself to like a good meal. That is something you should do, but don't go overboard. I don't think you should go overboard. I think it's okay to reward yourself once in a while, but don't make it retail therapy every month. Maybe through this journey, every quarter, let that be your retail therapy, or depending where you are at, like every season. Just don't make it a habit of going over when you're rewarding yourself. And then it's also very important that when you are treating yourself, all of that treatment has to be done in cash. And that's another secret. Using cash for every single purchase and every single item that you're using to treat yourself is another key to being content. Because I can't pay with my credit card because I can't afford it. That means, you can't do it. So I would say that that's a really key to being content. And that's something that I practice and helped me through my journey. Before I go, I do want to leave you with 3 books that I think will help you if you just want some reading on how to kind of frame your mindset. And the first book, because it did so much for me personally, would be the Smart Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. Again, one day if you guys want me to talk about break down his baby steps, because I followed it to the T. He has a bunch of resources on his baby steps as well. I am happy to do that, but that book definitely changed my life. His entire platform did change my life, so I'm gonna plug that because it really does challenge your mindset. The book challenges your mindset, your spending habit, your money moves. It challenges all those areas. The second book I want to recommend is Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a very, very popular book, and it's really, really great on building new habits. Again, on this journey, you're not going on what you've done in the past. It's a completely new journey. The book is really great because it really shows you how small steps can really change and create new habits for you over time, and it breaks it down very, very clearly. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you do like the video, give it a thumbs up. Leave it in the comments if you have any comments about this video or you have any questions. I'm more than happy to answer them in the comments. Any video suggestions that you would want to hear about. Also, if you are too shy to leave a comment, you can also message me on info.thegreenbridge@gmail.com. I will respond and definitely help you. Guys, thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe again. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.